Daughters of Charity of St. Vincent De Paul, an NGO, has appealed to the federal and state governments to award bursary to students with disability in tertiary institutions. Sister Fidelia Unigwe, National Coordinator of Child Empowerment Program of the organization, made this appeal in Abuja during the NGO's Disability Learning Exchange Program. Unigwe urged state governments to make necessary budgetary provisions and allocations for construction and rehabilitation of school structures for the benefit of PWDs, with emphasis on those with wheelchairs and the blind, and also commended her major funding partners, the Lillian Fund in the Netherlands, for faithfully contributing to the elevation of poverty in Nigeria.
I want to encourage our leaders. Very often we hear there is no money, there is no budget. We can start with one thing. Let us start with one thing every year. Some other countries have things like bursary awards for persons with disabilities. I experienced it in Akwa Ibom when Governor Akpabio was there. Every year, the children, young people with disabilities in the university got 100,000 naira as bursary award to support their education. And those in secondary school got 20,000 naira. Other states can also do that. It will encourage persons with disabilities to go to school, and it will make it affordable for them.
In her remarks, Mrs. Nkechi Onwukwe, the Director, Rehabilitation Department of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, had this to say.
Equally current imaginations and dynamics in the area of disability predicated by the Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goal, which says leaving no one behind, have necessitated the need for a more inclusive approach to development, where every person is given equal opportunity both as contributors and as beneficiaries.
For his part, Mr. Oguntoye Oyewole, the Executive Chairman, Lagos State Office of Disability Affairs, commended the organization for championing the cause for inclusive education for children with disability in the country.
On inclusive education, Lagos State government we have increased the number of schools, inclusive schools in Lagos State. They've increased the number of inclusive schools in Lagos State so that to cater for persons living with disability. Though the school are not enough, if you look at Lagos State, we have registered over 8,000 PWD in Lagos State, including children with special needs. We have registered, my office have registered them. And looking at the inclusive school, the proximity of the students from the school to their home, and that is why the state government created additional schools so that these children will not have problem from their home to the school and vice versa.
Mr. David Anyele, the Executive Director of Center for Citizens with Disability, also had this to say.
Part of the challenge we are having is that government systems and programs do not mainstream disability. When we say don't not mainstream disability, it means that they don't budget for disability and they don't implement disability. So if government in charge of Ministry of Education work to implement the national policy on persons with disabilities, it will go a long way to ensure inclusion and participation of young people and children with disabilities in academic activities.
Mr. Sunday Udo, National Coordinator of Leprosy Mission, commended the Daughters of Charity of St. Vincent De Paul for its relentless effort in advocating for inclusive education for children in Nigeria and called for the training and empowerment of teachers on disability education.
For me, primarily the main interest is in pushing and promoting inclusion, particularly educating our children with disabilities, because the system at the moment does not provide the enabling environment for them to achieve their full potentials. We do hope that more and more schools will get inclusive, more and more teachers will be actually equipped, properly equipped and trained in how to teach children with disabilities.